last thing I remembered. But I really honor you guys and thank you for your service to the community. Now, I want to talk about stress in a short amount of time. And then one of the things stress does is it separates you from opportunity. It puts people in a fight-flight mechanism. And that's sometimes good because you guys got to spring into action when you have a really important call. But on the day-to-day grind that you guys do, when it isn't those high stress environments, the little things you do are important to the overall health of your body. Okay, so if you do the right things to your body, it's going to add up over time to keep you in a positive direction with your health. If you do the little things in the negative way, your health is going to continue to go down. And you know what they say about, like, on the paramedic side of things, your career expectancy isn't very long. Now, I know you guys have, most of you guys have been to the ER all the time, right? But raise your hand if you've ever had an experience there with, like, yourself, just yourself, or a family member or a loved one. Raise your hand if you ever had an experience there, okay? So you know what I mean. It's like one of the worst days of your life when you're there. But the reason why people end up there usually, besides these freak accidents, is things that they chose to do over their life, and that got them to that heart attack or other stressful event that they're dealing with. So I want to propose a thing and a pivot point for you guys to change your health into a different direction. And I'm going to talk about the physical side of things with that. And I'm going to go over some exercises. Now, when I went out and rode in the ambulance like a couple months ago, and I saw the stresses you guys deal with just in a short amount of time, but the positions you have to have in the back of the ambulance, and I just saw some things that I could hopefully improve there and get you feeling better. It'll lead to having more energy, getting to enjoy your time off, and prolonging your careers. Okay, so the first thing, and we're going to do a little exercise, but I want to just go over basics on how to sit and how to stand. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is remember that you have a pivot point in your hips, and that's where all the motion should take place. You want to flex your abs when you sit or stand to protect your core and your lower back, and always think chest out, butt back when you sit and stand. So let's do this. Everybody sit upright. You guys are loving me right now. Flex those abs, chest out, butt back, and stand up. Okay? And then use the same thing to sit down. Sit down like that. Okay? Now when you're in the back of the ambulance and you're having to reach across the patients and you're bent and your back's arched like this, it's going to start causing strain to you. And it'll start leading to more and more health problems down the road. So just have my voice ingrained into your mind, and chest out, butt back, and just trying to do that as much with all these activities that you can. Okay? Now the other side of things too is I wanted to implement some stretches that if you do them probably like twice a day on the days you're working, and I made them so that you could do them while you're sitting. So maybe not on the driver's side, but in the passenger side. And it'll make your back healthier. So we're going to do some stretches too. You probably have to do it in the passenger seat, but these stretches will help you have more energy, have your body ache less at the end of the day. So would you volunteer? And I forgot to talk about this, but Jason and I have been talking about this. This is called a Kiss My Back, and it's a lumbar support. And so possibly this would work out maybe in the ambulances or what. There's other versions of this. It won't work for everybody, but actually I want you to come over here and do the proper sitting, and then sit back in this and tell me how this feels. Okay? And then scoot back, yeah. How does that feel in your back? I'm biasing it with this comfortable chair, but yeah. But it supports your spine, so it doesn't have any pressure points on it, and just with that, you can have a lot less aches in your day to day. Go ahead and stand up. Thank you for Well, and actually come back down. We're going to do some stretches now too. So, yep, sit. Now come to the edge of the chair. Okay, and you're going to keep your chest out and your butt back. You're going to straighten out your legs here. Okay, so just sitting there, and then start bending your back forward. Yep, and you start to stretch the hamstrings here. I'm lazy. I like to accomplish as much as I can at once. So we're going to do 3 stretches at once here. So he's going to do that, and then he's going to bring his toes up like that to hit the calves. And then, I call it the penguin, but you take your forearms like that, and then stretch the back of the forearms here. So, tight hamstrings, you can stop for a minute. Tight hamstrings will give you knee pain, and they can give you lower back pain. Tight calves, they cross the calves cross the knees, so they can give you knee pain, and they can lead to like plantar fasciitis and other problems like that in the foot. The tibialis anterior, which we're going to stretch in a minute, is the shin splints muscle for weekend warrior activities. And if you stretch that on a consistent basis, you'll be less prone for that. So we'll go right back to that position. So with the, yep. And now you're going to point your toes to the floor, okay? And then so now you're going to be hitting that tibialis anterior. And then I want you to take your forearms like this. And you could do it like this, or you could add some overpressure to that. It'll even get more out of the stretch. And then keep this posture right there, yeah. And so when you keep your posture like that, you barely have to bend forward here, and it doesn't put any stress to the lower back. Okay? Now, from there, bring your feet back up. And you guys are sitting in the ambulance, and your back gets all tight, and you got to spring into action. So we're going to do a couple stretches that will hit the obliques and the lower back. So bring your arms up over your head like that, and then just from there, you're going to just stretch to one side. You'll hold that for 30 seconds, and then go to the other side. Okay? Now that you're there too, this next stretch is just a twist. Okay? And then go to the other side. So you're sitting in there doing your notes for 20 minutes or what? On the keyboard, and your back's getting all tight. Just throw this one. I mean, I recommend it twice a day, but maybe if you're doing that more that day, throw it in a couple times. Get that back stretched out so it's not all tight. The last one I call cervical range of motion. So we want to get the neck moving properly, and we could all do this together. Just head down, go back. Okay, ear towards your shoulder, ear towards your shoulder, rotate. Rotate, and do that about 3 times. Okay? Thank you for volunteering. Okay? If you do these type of things and just make a little habit of it, you'll keep your hand out of that mirrored cabinet in the bathroom. What do you call that mirrored cabinet? Anybody? Medicine cabinet, right? We have a whole cabinet that's full of prescription and over-the-counter medication, and that's the mindset of America, right? It's a little kooky if you ask me. Are you healthy if that thing's full of medication, or are you healthy if it's empty? Which is healthier? Yeah. Empty. So you think what I think. So we just got to make little choices through the day to get us into this positive direction. Okay? So one of these things to shift is that you're an occupational athlete. You aren't like the elite athletes on TV. For one, you don't get paid the same. But they get 6 months to get ready for the next 6 months. You got to grind it out on a day-to-day basis. So these things are really important to you. And they only have to be successful for 3 or 4 years. You got to do it for 3 or 4 decades. Now, when you don't do the right things, your health goes into somebody else's hands, and they're going to make the decisions, and it's going to impact your loved ones, your friends, your coworkers. Somebody else is negatively impacted when you don't do the right thing. So today I'm offering to everybody here at our office, we're on 188th and Cornell by Einstein Bagels, complimentary day 1 and day 2. We'll do a full exam, x-rays, and a second visit where we go over everything for you and see if we can get you into some healthier goals. Some of the techniques we use that we're diversified in chiropractic, so that means we use multiple techniques. We use electronic adjusting tools, drop tables, manual, and I do a technique called performance release technique. And what it does is to the tight muscles that are in your body, say your hamstrings bothering you. Well, it's usually happened over time because your hamstring's getting tighter and tighter from scar tissue built up. So a muscle that should be this long is now like this, and visit by visit we get that muscle's length back, and so it doesn't pull awkwardly on your joints. You don't have pain like that. So that's one of the services we provide. Sarah's out in the back, and she's got schedules. If you want to schedule. Now this offer is for you, your family members, your friends, anybody you want. It's complimentary, no charge for you. We take Blue Cross Blue Shield and MODA, so we take what you guys have, and I'll be here taking some questions. So that's all.